Hello again, YouTube. This is the engineer here from Turn and Burn. Today we're going to be looking at this 30-ounce tumbler. It's a stainless steel tumbler. It came with a powder-coated blue coating on it, and we use the Aeon 100-watt laser to engrave this design on it. So I want to go over here to light burn. I'm going to go to file. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to run you through the feeds and speeds, the design process, and then we're going to go to the laser and watch it cut and talk about it just a little bit. So if you go to file, import, because I have this file saved as a DXF, and if it will load here, there we go. So Turn and Burn logo, that's the one I want to open. So I click that and it brings it in. So right there we have it. It just defaulted to the green layer. If I double click that, it will bring up the speed, power settings that it's currently set for. This is what I want. It's 850 millimeters a second, 55% power, and about 350 lines per inch. So that's good. I have it set to fill, which is important because if I had it set to line, it would just trace around each letter, and that wouldn't do quite what I want. So I want it to fill, which means everything inside this T right here is going to be burned. The paint will be removed from that area. So I have it output, I'm showing it. I have the compressed air off because I'm not cutting it. I'm just burning away the top layer of paint. So I don't need the compressed air. Single pass, and we're pretty much good to go. So to do this, I've got, just mock it up real quick right here. Essentially that, I don't have the exact dimensions handy, but this is the engravable area of the tumbler. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this to where it's all one piece and it can all move together. So it's grouped. I click that, I hold shift and I click this, and then I can center it both directions, up and down and left and right. Now the way we have our chuck rotary device set up on the table is I actually need to rotate this 90 degrees. So I deselect, select just that one, rotate -90, and it's no longer centered, but at least it's rotated correctly this time. So I'm going to recenter it, holding shift and selecting both of them, align it to the center, and now it's good to go. I want to maximize the engravable area, so I'm going to hold Control and drag it up a little bit. Give me just a little bit of buffer on either side of this. And so now, I added this rectangle here and it defaulted to the black layer. I don't want to engrave that black layer, so I'm going to uncheck the output box. So now it's showing it just for reference, but it won't engrave it when I send it. Now, one thing that's easy to forget with this setup, you have to mirror the image. So you click mirror, it keeps it centered, but now you can see it's all mirrored around the center line. So now when you engrave it, it'll actually cut properly. So I've got my feeds and speeds set. Everything looks good. It's centered. It's where I want it. I'm going to go to the laser and we're going to cut it. All right, here it is cutting on the laser. We've got it mounted in the chuck rotary device. We plugged the rotary cable into the port on the laser that disables the y-axis on the laser, and it replaces it with the rotation of this chuck. So we also have to set up in light burn. You have to check a little box to activate the chuck there. And once both those are done, then you're ready to get going. So as you can see here, this is real speed. It's going back and forth, left to right, one laser width at a time. It's burning off just a little bit of paint. This is a CO2 laser, so it will not burn or cut the metal. Now, there's a caveat there. If you have the power turned all the way up and you keep going back and forth over the same spot, you will notice a discoloration of the metal just because it's getting so hot. But the CO2 laser will not it can't cut metal. That's not what it's for, and that's why this process is actually possible. So one benefit we have, reason we're able to use the chuck with the 30-ounce cup without the laser head crashing into it, is because the diameter of the mouth here is about the same as the diameter of the chuck itself. So as you can see, the laser head is overshooting the edge of the cup and going over top of the chuck a little bit and then coming back. If that was a lot smaller item, we'd have issues. We'd have to set it up a little bit different, possibly use a roller style rotary device instead of a chuck. I've just had a lot better, more consistent luck out of using this chuck, and it works great for the 30-ounce cups. So that's the way we've got it set up. I'm gonna speed this up to 2 times fast real quick and see how that gets going. Alright, this is actually 4 times fast, so you don't have to sit through the entire engraving. But as you can see, that it's gradually rolling the chuck as the laser goes back and forth and back and forth. And that's how it gets the flat design on a round cup. So you can see there's a little bit of burn residue on there. It comes off pretty easily with the LA Awesome cleaner. Dawn soap and a magic eraser works well also. Really, either one works just fine. But we've got the finished product here, and it came out nice, clean, crisp edges, all the soot washed off, and there are no burn marks underneath. Came out pretty good. If you enjoyed watching this, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel to see other fun videos and learn a little bit more about manufacturing. Thanks, y'all.